Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here. I was holding off on making this video, but the amount of messages and people asking me about this, even in my personal life, just got to be too much. So I'm just going to go ahead and give my thoughts on the whole Apple fiasco going on with their iPhones and how it's came out that they started to slow down older models of iPhones. And there have been rumors for a long time about people saying, oh, Apple does it on purpose. They slow down their phones to make them worse so that you're forced to want to upgrade to the newer models. Now, Sam C posted something on Twitter about their iPhone 6 and how before a battery replacement, the CPU frequency was at 600 megahertz, and afterwards it jumped all the way up to 1400, which was the default frequency once he got the phone new. So, of course, this sparked a ton of controversy and investigation, and Apple actually released an official statement on the issue. So, I want to read it to you so you can kind of get Apple's side. Our goal is to deliver the best experience for customers, which includes overall performance and prolonging the life of their devices. Lithium-ion batteries become less capable of supplying peak current demands when in cold conditions, have a low battery charge, or as they age over time, which can result in the device unexpectedly shutting down to protect its electric components. Last year, we released a feature for iPhone 6, 6S, and SE to smooth out the instantaneous peaks only when needed to prevent the device from unexpectedly shutting down during these conditions. We've now extended that feature to the iPhone 7 with iOS 11.2 and plan to add support for other products in the future. Now, with that being said, I have friends that refuse to update their phones to the latest software, which puts them at risk to security reasons. But just because other friends have said, oh, I updated to iOS 11 and my phone seems slower, it's just buggier, it just doesn't work as well. iOS 11 was very buggy in general, let alone to have an older phone running iOS 11. So that's been an issue, and people are just holding off on updating their phones. And it's not just iPhone batteries that have this problem. Every lithium-ion battery does this. So if you have an Android phone, you have anything that has a lithium-ion battery in it, it's going to degrade over time. It's going to get worse. I actually have a buddy that had to use his iPhone 4 for a while, and he said his battery dropped about 40% if he called an Uber. So that just gives you an idea. After extended periods of time, these batteries just die out. So of course, that's something that all phones have. If you haven't had one phone for over a year and a half, then you know the battery life is going to get worse over time. Now, I don't know of any other companies that actually go ahead and throttle their phones and slow them down over the span of time. Now, it'd be interesting to see if any other company comes out and says, hey, we actually do this too to protect your phones. Only time will tell about that, but Apple's the only one that actually got outed of doing this. So this is where the biggest problem for me comes in, is that Apple had to be investigated and someone had to find this out on their own, and Apple wasn't very transparent about slowing down devices. They advertise their devices having X processor running at X speed. It doesn't say, oh, by the way, if you have a phone for a year, we're going to start to slow it down to save your battery life, prolong the device. Maybe people don't want to prolong their device and keep their phone at a certain speed and peak performance level. So that that's what bothers me the most, is that they weren't transparent. They didn't let consumers know that this is what they were doing. And of course, I want to hear from you guys. I'll be down in the comments. Go ahead and let me know what you think. But there are some things they could have done to actually make this less of an issue. They could have included bigger batteries. The iPhone 8 has, I think, a little over a 1,800 milliamp hour battery, whereas the Galaxy S8 has a 3,000 milliamp hour battery. So almost double the size, and that can help protect and prolong your battery within your device. It's also very interesting that Apple decides that after 1 year they need to start slowing down their phones, and that's essentially what the findings were, and that doesn't make sense to me. A year, yeah, the battery is going to degrade, but I still think it can hit that peak performance that the device needs to hit, and you need to optimize your software. If you're going to keep updating your older phones, you need to make sure your software is optimized to all the hardware throughout your devices. That's one great thing about having an Apple phone, is you get all the updates from all the models on time right away. However, if you're going to sacrifice some speed and performance on your phone to update the device, it's going to make people second guess updating their phone. Now, of course, the big question, should you be upset about this? And the answer is yes. Apple wasn't transparent. They weren't open about what they were doing to the device you bought. They were slowing it down. You were expecting it to stay a certain speed, and it didn't. And that's what bothers me the most. Maybe if they were more transparent about it, you'd be like, oh, okay. So, they give reasons. They say we're trying to prolong your device. So, they might not necessarily be malicious in saying, oh, we want to slow down these devices because we want people to upgrade. That might not be their actual reason behind doing it. But I just think they need to be open about the fact that they're doing it because, of course, batteries do degrade over time, and it makes sense why you would need to slow down phones to actually prolong these batteries. Now, of course, I don't have any idea if any other companies are doing it. No clue whatsoever. But if they are, I sincerely hope they come out and are way more transparent about it. And that's the big thing for me. They just need to be open and transparent so consumers know what's going on. And Apple just needs to upgrade their device battery size and also optimize their hardware, software, and prolong that extended period of time before they slow down devices. So those are my final thoughts on the whole Apple iPhone battery fiasco that's going on. I know some people are actually suing Apple over it, so curious to see how that will actually play out. My guess is probably settlement outside of court, but hey, who knows? But again, drop your comments down below. I'll be down there reading them, checking out some conversations going on, so be sure to communicate. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.